Hi, welcome to Gemmell's again. We get a lot of questions here, and although we try to answer them as best we can, sometimes it's better to show you. One of the most frequently asked questions is how to make our beautiful baskets look fantastic all summer long. Aside from watering them daily and fertilizing once a week, another thing you can do is deadheading. Deadheading basically is removing the spent flower before it has a chance to set to seed. And this applies mainly to annuals. Most annuals will stop production of flowers once the seeds have set. So by deadheading, you are ensuring a long blooming period. Start off with geraniums, one of the easier ones. Easy to spot a spent flower. It won't look pretty. And all you do is you reach down to where the stem joins another stem and snap it off. Easy peasy. And you're done. These are still starting. You can just pull off the odd little flower just to keep it looking aesthetically pleasing. And when it does finish, you can snap that one off completely. Now what's going to happen is it's going to send more flowers to bloom. Another common one is petunias. A lot of people don't like to deadhead petunias, and we hear you. We have mostly non-deadheading kinds. For aesthetic reasons, sometimes the flowers, although they're self-deadheading and they will not produce seed, they're unsightly. And that can just be pulled off like that. And that's kind of like a nice Zen moment for you, a bit of meditation, and just remove them. The petunia that does require deadheading, here's how it's done. Some people might think that they have to pull just the flower out. But what you have to do is reach down and go past the flower stem down to the next joint. Here's a joint. And you just pinch that off with your thumb. And that's how we get our green thumbs, by the way. So you would do this when you're watering, inspect the plant, look for some faded flowers, and just pinch them off. Another flower that people ask about are verbena, how to deadhead a verbena. Now they're very prolific bloomers and tend to get very stretched after a while. So it's a good idea to keep an eye out for spent blooms. The difference between a spent bloom and a new bloom, the spent one's gonna look like this. The flowers were there, and you're going to pinch it down to the joint. And voila, you're done. Now, so you don't mistake it from one of the newer blooms, they will look something like this, where you see the tiny little sprouts coming up and the blossoms coming up and are still in the middle of opening. Those you leave alone. You can even go back a little further and go to a second node if there are no other flowers on the stem, and that'll help it create a more bushy plant. It'll send out 2 new shoots at the node and flower from there as well. And finally, another tough one that people wonder about are Lobelia. This one's a little different because it's so tiny. Who wants to deadhead every little flower? So you just grab some shears, sterilize with a little bit of rubbing alcohol or a quick spray of Lysol between plants, and you can actually just take it and prune off about 1 to 2 inches, and that's it. What's going to happen again is it's going to signal further up the stem, closer to the roots, to produce more blooms. And if you have any questions that you would like answered here, feel free to send them to Gemmell's.